Namaste, yogis. How did you guys do this weekend with your first sequence? Did you get to a little something every day? I hope so. In case you're lacking in that motivation to getting in your morning practice, I've come up with 5 really important reasons, really important benefits that you can get from practicing first thing in the morning. So let's get started. The first reason is that it's going to help you to get ahead of your chronic pain. So we want to remember that as we sleep, our body builds up connective tissues between the muscles and the fluids kind of get stale. You can start to think of your body as like a big glass of fresh squeezed orange juice. If you don't shake the orange juice up, the liquids start to separate and it gets very, very stiff, and you wouldn't want to drink it like that. So that's what happens to our body too. So the joints get stiff, the muscles get stiff, and that causes compression in the body. And with compression in the muscles and compression in the bones, it's going to start to compress the nerves, which is where our back pain comes from. So when we practice in the morning, if we can get this movement started between, it's going to make some space for those nerves to free up, and it will help us to stay ahead of that chronic pain. The second most important reason is that an early morning practice will help you to build a healthy and consistent routine. And I love this study. I found it online. Studies show that 90% of those who exercise regularly, and that's more than 3 times a week, are morning practitioners. So having your established morning practice encourages you to stick with it, and it creates exercise and self-care habits that will last. So with most of us, our busy lives and our valuable time can restrict us from getting in that daily exercise routine or daily yoga routine like we're cultivating now. So it's understandably tough to fit in this movement in our day-to-day. So you can think about it this way. If you wake up, get that movement routine out of your way, you won't have to think about it the rest of the day. It's just going to be done with a half hour, right? 10 minutes if you don't have the time to do it. But you've gotten those morning stretches and practices so that you know you won't have to be thinking about, oh man, I should have gone to my practice earlier today. I didn't get to my morning routine. You're going to be thinking about it the rest of the day. Get it out of the way. It's done with, and you can put all of your energy into your work, into whatever other activities you're doing throughout the day. So the third most important reason is it's going to stimulate your body's healing response. So when you practice in the morning, it allows your nervous system to stay at a more relaxed state throughout the entire day. So when we wake up in the morning, our cortisol levels, and cortisol is the stress hormone in our body that stimulates that fight or flight response, that has to be high in the morning so that our body actually wakes up. And if we put added stress into those high cortisol levels by reaching for the email or reaching for our phones, it's going to keep us in this more frantic state the entire day. So in the morning, if we can bring in this asana practice, these breathing practices, and stimulate our parasympathetic nervous system, that's the more relaxed one that comes in with a reduced heart rate, reduced breathing, then we're going to be more able to maintain a calmer state throughout the entire day. The fourth reason is that it helps us to fight sickness and disease. So we're right in the middle of cold and flu season right now. You might notice that everybody around you is starting to come down with this little bug or that little bug. So in the morning, by getting the system moving, shaking up that fresh squeezed orange juice, it's going to stimulate our circulation, the lymphatic system, and as well as the immune system. So those white blood cells can start to go and take care of whatever they need to take care of in your body, and it's going to help you to stay healthy. So last but not least, this week's practice, we learned about a very basic pranayama technique. We learned the Ujjayi breath, that Darth Vader breath that we worked on. So as you're going throughout your day, whether it was in your practice, the 5 minutes pranayama that we added into the sequence, or if you're working on the walking pranayama. So that was the little practice that we gave you that you can do while you're on your commute to work, so as you're walking or as you're on the subway. But what it's going to help you to do is anchor yourself in the present moment, which is above all going to help increase your quality of life. So a lot of times we get stuck in past things that, you know, keep coming up in the mind, or we get worried about what's happening in the future. So anchoring your attention in the present moment is going to help keep you more focused during your job or whatever else you're doing throughout the day, and also, you know, increase relationships, everything else. Every interaction you have with anybody can be a lot more present and a lot more fulfilling for you. So if you haven't started your practicing yet, get started today. It's Monday, great time to start. And we'll see you on Thursday. Make sure you're taking little notes about things that have gone well for you throughout the weekend and throughout the week. things that you're having challenges with so that we can address them when we meet again on Thursday. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you this week. Namaste.